Good morning and bom dia, South Coast family. It is your boy, Mr. H, Lizzie, coming to you live and of course in HD with Southern Stars. Proudly brought to you by Beaver Creek and of course once again live on South Coast HD. Now with Southern Stars we aim to bring our local heroes to the forefront to inspire you and myself to do better by the community. Now on today's episode, I have a hero. If you live on Margate between Heberdean and Port Edward, you know him, you've seen the signs all over the place. So you are literally, as a local, as someone who grew up here, I can quite proudly say that I've seen your work. Sir, please introduce yourself to the camera.
Thank you very much. I'm Stephan Herbst from Tidy Town, Shelly Beach to Margate. And I've grown up here. I went to Margate Primary as a youngster. I've been here 33 years and went to Sheppey High. Did my trade down here and I'm the business owner of two businesses on the South Coast, Comfort Cool Air Conditioning. And then I have a partnership in a clothing business over here, manufacturing clothing in the Margate area.
Listen to that. So it was just all about a lad, a young local lad who stuck to his roots and now he's doing great things here on the coast. Now, who was your principal in Margate Primary before we continue? I went there too. I had Mr. Lutka.
I had Mr. Lutka as well.
Cheers.
I still see Mr. Lutka.
So did I. He's quite a strong guy. He's a very strong guy.
Very, very nice human.
Okay, now Steve, please tell us when you started. Why did you start?
Oh, it's so easy. In late 2021, myself and Reg Horn got together with a couple of guys at St. Michael's and we surfers. We've surfed. I've surfed since I was 10 years old, and St. Michael's Beach primarily was like our go-to place. It's a beach break. It's one of the best beach breaks probably in South Africa, and we saw a need. We were arriving there in the morning, and there were broken bottles, and there was refuse, and there was rubbish, and there were parties and drinking going on, and it was really a bad situation. It was a shocking situation to be in, and I think what we had to do is step up as a community, get involved and do something about the situation at St. Michael's Beach. So we did. And we got together and we rallied up and we started by doing the basics, also getting information. Also started out by sitting with the guys from law enforcement. At the time, Darren Govender. I knew Darren because my history was I was involved with the Margate ratepayers. So I had a relationship with Darren Govender, who's the Chief Superintendent for Margate area, and then Sifiso Nkaku, who is Chief of Law Enforcement between Heberdean and Port Edward. Okay. So we had a meeting with him with Reg, and we told them our plan, and there was buy-in from minute one, which was magnificent. So nice. It was incredible, man. It was a great start to what we wanted to do. It wasn't as easy as that. I mean, there were some harsh words exchanged.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I can imagine though. Yeah.
So we explained the situation, we explained I was part and parcel of the guys that I went to all the meetings about the bylaws and the bylaws that were eventually promulgated in 1st of, I think it was January 2017, they were actually enforceable. It was just checked to make sure, but we've got a very, very good document on bylaws on the South Coast. And our only industry being tourism, we had to try and bring a sense of responsibility to those bylaws so that the people that were visiting our product down here on the South Coast would enjoy themselves instead of being, welcoming that drunken problem every single morning at St. Michael's.
That's so true.
That's where we started and why we started.
Okay, now very briefly, we spoke before. Please explain why the bylaws are so important and fundamental to ensure that we as citizens keep the South Coast clean.
From the Emerald Groves, our journey starts. With tender hands, we pick, we part. Through pulping tides and sunlit air, each beam is dried with utmost care. By knowing eyes, the best are found in perfect roasts, their flavors crowned, packed with love from us to to you. Beaver Creek Coffee. Pure and true. Crafted with passion, our promise remains. Sip the essence, taste the song, the journey savored all day long. Every cup a story, every sip a dream.
So I'm going to tell you a quick thing. I did a talk show with a guy, a university professor from Bloemfontein, and we were right at the end of the meeting, and he said to me, well, do you have a catchphrase? And at the time, we didn't have a catchphrase. We were new, and we'd got some really good traction on social media, and he said to me, well, just a catchphrase. And I just said to him, clean makes clean. And man, let me tell you, that has been something that I've lived by from that moment. If you have a clean environment, you attract clean people. If you have clean beaches, you attract people that want to go to the beach for the right reasons. If you have a clean town, people want to come and see your town because it is clean and because we know the challenges around the country. So we started out because the basics needed to be done on the beaches. So in the morning when we wanted the surfers and holidaymakers to get there, we wanted to give them a showroom to the south coast.
That's nice.
So we made St. Michael's the showroom, and we interviewed 11 of the guys that were apparently car guards, and we got some information, and to be a car guard you have to have a SIRA registration, which they didn't have. And we found out they were actually just drug peddling and a part of the problem, over there washing cars and then using drugs on site, sleeping at night in the local ablutions. The ablutions were getting vandalized, and the
what's ablution?
Ablution is your toilet, your beach toilet, your beach facilities.
Those are called ablutions.
Ablutions, yeah, ablution facilities, yeah. So we got involved with all the guys in charge of those facilities, and we said to them, well, guys, we'll go to the community as tiny towns, and we will go and get the funding to upgrade, renovate, and make these serviceable. And we lay new piping for the showers. We put a JoJo tank on the top of St. Michael's ablutions, the toilet facilities, so that, on the coast we have water issues. And then you get backed up toilets, and you've got holiday season.
No, that's not going to work ever.
So we just got buy-in from the community, from members, from business owners, like Drainaway, and DLS Plumbing, and Wingnuts Plumbing.
I've seen them work with.
And those guys are locals. They've got a vested interest. They make their money here. So a lot of people ask me, even now, why do I do it? I own an air conditioning business. How do I benefit from this tidy towns thing? And I think for me, it's a bigger thing. I've been here in the early 90s when it was a boom town, and then it withered away a little bit. And I still have this feeling that we've got the best coastline probably in the world.
Wow.
And I know it's a big statement, but it really is. We ran 2 surf events at St. Michael's, and they were heralded as the best SA Surfing South African Championships in the last 10 years by Robin de Kock, the CEO. So, that's why we started and why we had to get involved and communicate and build relationships with our local municipalities, with the municipal managers, and with the superintendents, and the cleansing and maintenance departments. And then from there we just expanded, and we went to Shelly Beach, then Uvongo, then we did Manaba Beach, and then we did what I call the Eiffel Tower of the South Coast, the Margate main beach, and that was an eye-opener when we went there.
Wow.
So that first morning when we started, we really had an eye-opener. We had a lot of vagrants sleeping in the bushes, in ablution facilities, in derelict homes. Bylaws were not being enforced, and here we are, 2024, 2 years and 8 months later, and the change is magnificent. It's clean and tidy. I can honestly say clean and tidy. We work with both municipalities. The bylaws are enforced daily. We work with our CPFs, Uvongo CPF, Margate CPF. There's reservists. Thank you to our station commander, Brigadier Slubbert. So the bylaws are enforced on a daily basis. Drinking in public, littering, urinating in public, damage to property, loitering. It's been incredible. It's been a really, really, really magnificent journey.
Okay, nice. Now, please tell everyone at home, the difficulties you had starting this? Because I can imagine it wasn't a matter of, hey, I'm just gonna, get everyone's support and things are gonna work out. What happened?
Yeah, I think when you start out, funding is a massive problem. So we, as the Tiny Towns group of about 6 of us, we funded it ourselves.
Imagine, yeah.
For the first 6 to 8 months. And, we went against all the stereotypes, like, let's get a committee. We just said, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Let's go out there, let's get permission, and let's do what we need to do, and let's fund it, and let's prove to the community what can be achieved if we do this. And before you know it, we just had people coming on board. We see what you're doing. My background's marketing, so I've marketed the brand, Tiny Towns, from day one. We've now got, I think, 27,500 followers on our Facebook page.
Wow.
We don't pay for ads. It's wholesome and it's holistic. And I think that's been the real key, is that we've kept it real. I had a lot of detractors. I had a lot of people saying that it wouldn't last, and it's lack of violence here. Yeah, we had a lot of people saying it wouldn't last 6 months. And
oh my God.
the founder of this, Reg Horn, so his history is he was a serious and violent crime policeman, and he owns Whistleblowers International. They operate out of 47 countries.
Wow.
And he owns Justicia Investigations. And he just said to me, he said, you know what? Let them. And I kind of just bought into that. And, we were asked at committee members and community gatherings and that, so how long do you think this can last? And we said, well, if it can last one more day, well, then that'll be great.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to think about it, man.
2 years and 8 months later, and I think we've got more traction than ever before. We've been offered huge amounts of money for contracts over 5 years to co-brand with national companies.
Wow.
And we said no. We said this belongs to the community. Yeah, we said no. Okay. This belongs to the community. If we want to do something like a tidal pool renovation, we go to Nkonyeni Municipality, we go to the relevant departments, we go to environmental, we go and ask them, this is what we want to do, this is how we're going to do it, this is why we're going to do it for tourism. Can we get permission and we'll fund it? And 9 out of 10 times they're like, go for it.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 times they say, go for it. And every time we get the go-ahead, the community comes on board. We put a sum out. We say, please pay Doug's Hardware for the cement. We don't need to touch the money. We want it to be, okay, so you guys are engineers. Will you do the design? Okay, you the builder. Will you do the building? What is it going to cost for your laborer? So we get the invoice for the labor and we pay that across. And that's how we work it. So that it's accounted for. It's an amazing story of a community that's uniting for this one objective of tourism. That is what Tiny Town Shelly Beach to Margate is. And because of what we've done here locally and the surf event, people have gone away from our coast and they've called us later and said, can you get us started? How do we start? So we've even got a starter pack that we send out. Get like-minded people, you need these tools, do the basics, do your edging, do your paving, do the cleanup. That's your showroom. And then we also say choose areas of excellence. So we took our beaches. We took Shelly Beach, the CBD in Shelly Beach. Chris Corsten runs that. We've got Sea Barley and St. Michael's Beach, which is run by Marcus Bench. And then you've got Uvongo Beach, which is run by Christelle and Reg Horn. And then you've got Margate, which is run by myself and Scott Colesbeck, who's a farmer. So when you have a look at our team, you've got a guy, Chris Corsten, who went to school over here, grew up here, owns a fish and chip shop, owns a charter boat, tourist business. Marcus owns Sea Barley, so he relies on tourism.
Absolutely.
Reg retired here, he's a surfer. There's credibility with him. Scott's a farmer, banana farmer. He does a lot of banana farming upliftment for communities. And then I'm a business owner down here. And I just absolutely think that the South Coast offering and the product is just this rough diamond that if a few people stand together and this community comes together, holds hands and unites, that we will be an example to the rest of South Africa on what can be achieved by all walks of life, from all communities, from all backgrounds.
Wow.
And that's why Tiny Towns, Shelly Beach to Margate is so special.
Okay, wow. From what I can pick up and what I've seen, the guys at Tiny Towns are actually going to make this place paradise again. But to do that, I think you need help from the community. So how would you say the community's involvement has impacted in the success of tiny towns? Do you think the community is involved enough? And I'm talking communities from all walks of life, black, white, colored, Indian, because on the South Coast we have everybody from all walks of life. How do you think the coming together of the community has helped tiny towns? Are they coming together enough even, Steve?
In the beginning, I would have said no.
Okay, please be honest.
6 months into it, 6 months into tiny towns, I would have said to you that we have got one of the greatest communities in South Africa. Vietnam, if you have a look at Sabine running that 100 from all walks of life.
Wow.
I have a lot of Indian support, I have a lot of African support, I have a lot of coloured support, I have a lot of white support. I have like-minded people supporting us, and the success of tiny towns, Shelly Beach to Margate, is not us. It is the community. And the community makes up the volunteers who were unemployed, who were drug addicts, drug users, who have redeemed themselves with their families, who are now a part of their communities and who feel a part of the community. So there's a very good feel-good story about that. And then the business community coming together saying, guys, this is our product. If we want to walk down the street and negatively talk about our area, then we mustn't be upset when people don't want to come and invest here. It's like putting sand in your own porridge. That's the only way I can.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
Okay, nice.
so we have got a product that is unbelievable. If you go to the beaches, I can tell you right now, you're probably going to encounter a reservist or a CPF member or a security member from our magnificent security companies, which have been the backbone of what we have done. Wolf, Mesa, ADT, Laser, all of them have come together and they've really stood behind us and they've worked with the SAPS. I think there needs to be a huge mention of Nkonyeni Municipality coming on board. Yes, obviously their hands are tied. There's some things that they can and can't do, but they've been there and they support us. And then from the SAPS, I'll tell you something, please. The most beautiful thing for me out of this whole ordeal is developing a relationship between the good citizens of our community and our local SAPS. Our SAPS members are amazing. And there was a very big break between the community and the SAPS years ago. And we've molded that. If you have a look at Brigadier Slubbert and the General from Port Shepstone, they've really changed the feeling between the community and themselves. And I can see that during holidays when they bring the mounted unit from Port Shepstone. Mounted unit, so it's the horse unit from Peter Maritzburg.
Yes, we've all seen them.
The interaction with the kids is unbelievable. And they've built this camaraderie. And then we'll do road shows like we'll do the Uvonga CPF will have a fundraising Mardi Gras, or Madeleine Stopforth will run a Mardi Gras here in Margate, and the proceeds will go to tiny towns. With those proceeds, we're able to help the CPFs or community projects, or anything for that matter, like the flood damage, the flash floods.
Ooh, that must have been a horror show.
It was, but it keeps us relevant.
How many years in a row? Like 3?
Since I've started, we've done about 15 to 20 cleanups, but proper, heavy, intensive cleanups. We've had a whale carcass wash up on St. Michael's Beach, and we had to get rid of that because that can cause years of problems with the flesh and the oils and all of that. So, we've learned a lot. The environmental management and Department of Forestry and Farming are unbelievable in what they do. They hold, the relevant departments accountable, and we live in a magnificent coastline. I can tell you we are blessed to have the offerings that we do, Mac Bananas, River Valley Nature Reserve, sea barley on the beachfronts, wild fishing. I can go on for days, guys, with these areas of excellence that we have. Port Edward's got Beaver Creek, who are amazing. Their offering is amazing. So there's so much. Lake Eland up in Orreby Gorge. The South Coast is a gem. And one of the biggest gems that I've been to personally was in Kalima.
Wow.
I went to Chief Kolo, to the caves over there, so the Kolo Caves, and it was amazing.
Wow.
So I think we've just got so much diversity that we can offer to a tourist. But never forget that the Eiffel Tower of the South Coast is Margate. And we need to make sure that Margate flies that flag forever for the South Coast.
I could not agree more. All right, Steve, you've got a lot to say, and I want you to get a few things off your chest. What do you need from us going forward? You've got everyone's attention right now. Speak to them and tell them what they need to do to help tidy towns.
Jeez, I get goosebumps. So, I watch the UFC, and I'm a big fan of Dricus du Plessis. In Afrikaans, he says, "Hulle weet nie wat ons bronze medal by." I just get goosebumps, man. By 0.03 of a second or something like that. And you look at what sport has done, and I think Mandela said it the best, Nelson Mandela, when he said, sport has the ability to unite a nation. I believe that, like sport, tidy towns is something that everyone wants to see in their areas, in their suburbs. It's looking out for your neighbor. If you've got an old granny that can't cut her own verge and she might have lost her husband and she doesn't have family, you cut in your verge, cut hers for a man.
Yeah.
And that's what we talk about in tidy towns as civic pride. And I think civic pride is going to be a huge contributor to the magnificent future that South Africa has. So everyone out there, get on board, civic pride in your own area. You can contact us on Facebook at Tidy Town, Shelly Beach to Margate. But be the change in your own community and have a dream and have an area of excellence that you focus on and that you polish and that you really take time to make the best offering in your area, and you'll see the results. I mean, you can see it if you clean a street. People think twice in a clean street to drop a piece of litter.
Absolutely, you won't do it actually.
But in a dirty street, you'll just add to what's the norm. So make the norm clean, and clean makes clean.
Clean makes clean. And I think we do need that on the coast because, I mean, from where we grew up, it's just, it's gone really bad, but it's good to see that people like yourselves and your partners are actually going the extra mile for us. For me specifically and personally, I do thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
For your,
Appreciate it
for your efforts.
Yeah.
Now, before we close off, you do work close with Beaver Creek.
Yes, I actually do air conditioning for them. They're magnificent. The Cummings family.
Have you had their coffee?
I have.
Of course you have.
It's actually in my house.
Okay, well, listen. This is from us to you, from South Coast HD and from Southern Stars to you. Please enjoy. We actually have a proper box here.
Thank you very much.
For people to see.
There you go, guys. Support local. Beaver Creek. They actually are part of Tidy Towns in Port Edward, which we opened up last year. So thanks for this.
Perfect. All right. Now, please, sir, face that camera over there.
I'll face the camera for you.
And repeat after me. Southern Stars.
Southern Stars.
On South Coast HD.
On South Coast HD.
Is the only place.
Tidy Towns.
And Stephan Herbst. Will be. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Keep it HD. Keep your town tidy. And don't forget, you yourselves are a Southern Star.